Hey guys, welcome to this video giving a quick walkthrough on what it takes for user stories to be practical and valuable for a team and the end users. The user stories is a short description of a user behavior and interaction with the system. It also establishes sort of a contract between the product owners or end users and the development team for what needs to be built. While a few line description is just enough to describe the user story, further details are required more often than not, and we will talk more on this shortly. Usually, enhancing system features and providing new functionality requires deep analysis as well as technical work. And in broader terms, these features are known as EPICS. For example, enable hotel bookings on smartphone, or enable hotel and flight bookings all at once. The completion of EPICS can span over multiple development cycles. The EPICS are broken into manageable portions, known as our famous user stories. As a development team, we try to fit user stories into various development cycles, commonly known as the sprints. The user stories contain the what details and not the how details. User stories are broken down further to task level that contain the technical details. The completion of a related set of user stories ensures delivery of an epic. In order for user stories to be considered for development, it has to be in ready state. Ready means that it has already gone through an invest analysis by the product team and qualifies on criteria like uniqueness and being valuable for the end user. At the same time, it is also necessary to understand other parameters in order to estimate the effort required for development, such as the size and verifying that there are no constraints to test the feature. For example, a company deciding to embark on e-commerce has to implement a shopping cart user story. However, it does not have integration set up with the payment gateway. There is a good business case, however, it cannot be estimated and tested. In more traditional project management approaches, we come across these as constraints and dependencies. Next is to understand and define the acceptance criteria. A user story description will document the happy path, but what happens in exception scenario, such as a login failure, or entering invalid phone number or a zip code? What screen and error prompts will be displayed in such cases? Are test cases being documented for the user story? Is the test environment and test data available? Is the scalability an issue? What provisions are available during times of heavy user traffic? What is the user experience looking like? Are there any mockups required which are not available? The answers to all or some of these questions as applicable should be readily available. And if answers to some or any of these questions is negative, there are good chances that the user story is not ready for development and requires more preparation. You won't find much value developing a feature which cannot be demonstrated to quality assurance or your end users. Let's take a look at an example. The director of engineering learns about too many help desk requests to reset usernames and passwords for users logging into CRM and ERP applications. The users belong to the same organization. The director, after discussion with product management, decides to implement single sign-on feature in both applications. The product team writes an epic describing the requirement. The product team understands it's a big feature requiring UI changes, custom development, as well as integration testing across CRM and ERP applications landscape. So they start by creating a user story, adding in some more details. The product team discusses various acceptance criteria with CRM and ERP application team leads and determine the two required modifications independent of each other. They decide to break the user story in two parts, one for ERP changes and other for CRM. Upon further evaluation, the ERP team refines the acceptance criteria, such as ability to reset credentials, create new users, and they also verify the availability of testing users in test environment. They meet the definition of ready to start development and deliver in next two sprints. The CRM team, on the other hand, determines their test users are not available and the environment is not ready yet. They determine not meeting the acceptance criteria and decide to defer development to a later sprint. Guys, if the product manager or the product management team and the development team did not work towards verifying definition of ready and evaluate the acceptance criteria properly, they would have caught facts later by surprise. Guys, in this video, we explored various terms and workflows to enable you to get started writing good and meaningful user stories with the aid of some practical examples. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.